It was during COVID, so it was really difficult to get any sort of discussion with the doctor at all. We weren't even allowed in the hospital to see her. So the only time I saw her to pick her up, and she was wheeled out on a chair with a bag full of medicines. I didn't speak to anybody. And I was just given a discharge letter with the medicines on. Took them home, and I thought, right, I've got to get these organised now. Because my mum didn't know, you know. She just knew she took a pink one, a yellow one and a green one, you know, and she didn't know what they were, she didn't know what they were for. And obviously you worry about your mum, and because you care for her. And I went through it all. It must have took me a good 2-3 hours going through it all, looking at what's this for, what's that for, what does that do? Because I don't want my mum to be given stuff that I don't think she needed. I think the first challenge was I was unfamiliar with them. I'm familiar with my own medicines, I know what they are, and I know my routine. All of a sudden I've got a new routine with a load of medicines that I'm not familiar with. I don't know what they do, I don't know what they're for. All I know is that for my mum, she's got a bad heart and she's old and she's frail. So it's like starting afresh. So I had to go through them, and I did the same routine as I did with my tablets, as I did with hers, because I lived with her at the time. I'd do my tablets with mum's tablets, and my coffee was a bit cold at the end of it. But you know, but it also created the problems then, because if I was ever away for a week or so, I'd have to do a week's full of drugs for my mum, because basically she had no idea. I mean, she was in her 80s, she was old, she was frail, and she had the bag full of tablets. And I don't think she'd have taken them. I think she might have maybe overdosed on them if I hadn't, so I had to go out and I bought one of those, a box where you got days of the week on it, and I'd do a week full of tablets for her. I think the biggest help would have been if a pharmacist could have possibly, in like the box that I had, if the medicines were delivered like that, straight from the pharmacy. So without me having to go through each different one, if they were delivered by that pharmacy, that would have been a huge help, because then they're already done, and I don't have to worry that I've given my mum the wrong ones, that I've got the order wrong, I've given the wrong dosage. You know, that'd be a massive help if that could ever be achieved.